Are we live? You are live.
We live, are we live, are we live?
Yo, yo, yo.
We are live, we are live, we are all the way live from Los Angeles, California. Oh, I got you.
Two of us
Live
are
from
live.
Los Angeles, California.
Live.
It is time for another episode of the Veve Bros podcast. Ben, check yours. Check. Let's see. Ben Hall. Chad, this is
Now
me.
that's me.
Cisco.
Yo. You
Cisco.
guys here? Hello.
There we
Hello.
Ben.
Check. There we go.
Is that better?
Now I can hear myself.
If you're out there, just give us a thumbs up. We'll see what's good. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Veve Bros podcast, where we talk all things Veve Collectibles, going through another week here on the app, another crazy week. This is week 9 in a row. We're coming to you on a Tuesday night because by this time tomorrow, I'll be back in Las Vegas on my way to Salt Lake City. So we're doing this Tuesday night special for all our Veve Bro heads. Shouts out to anyone in the chat. Shouts out to all the people who have been showing a lot of love on Veve, bro. The community, although people are crying a lot and the prices are freaking some people out, it's been fun. I can say it's been an interesting 2 months on the app. I don't think anyone can argue against that. And shouts out to all the people we interact with, people who drop comments when we post, and the social side of Veve, although it's just in the beginning stages, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. How you guys doing? How you guys checking in?
Good. Wild week. Since it hasn't even been a full week. That shit's been wild.
Very, very wild. And yeah, shout out to everybody. Once the app gets updated, it'll be easier. It's hard when you have so many followers and it's like, so-and-so just did this. So then it gives you all these updates. I have like 99 plus.
Yeah.
You got to put Marcus red. And
Does anyone else notice a difference in the drops? Do you feel a little different? You feel like
you're hitting more. Everyone's hitting more.
You guys feel that?
I'm sure people can feel that across the board.
See that?
We're hitting more drops. I think everyone can agree. I mean, this might be the
you're
first
seeing
week
it in the feed.
in
People
9
are happy.
I
in
hit a
9
comic book
episodes.
drop and I hit the rebound. And that's never happened before. I only got the rebound before.
Right? So I think this is the first time in our thing where all three of us,
because we all got good drops this week.
We all got good drops this week.
It's
There
the
we go.
First time
we all hit in a week.
Yeah.
So that's never happened. So there goes some proof in that pudding right there, where none of us have to be too jealous of the
But
other
we
for
still
hitting.
yet to all three hit. That still hasn't happened. All three hit the same drop.
The same drop.
I'm surprised you didn't hit that the Moonlight one or the Moonlight one.
The
Moon
Werewolf by
Nights. Werewolf by Nights. First appearance of the Moon Knights.
Tried for the
The
rebound
Moon Knight.
to 28 minutes.
I hit that one, and I hit my first secret rare ever, baby. Well, comic. Electro was my first, but the secret rare Werewolf by Night, which was really cool. I wasn't expecting that, and I was in Vegas this past weekend, so I didn't do my normal Veve due diligence and watch my Veve and 3. Shouts out to him, and Comics and Crypto. Shouts out to them, because that's where I look, to see what is this comic worth going for. Do I want to go too crazy in the aftermarket and pick up a bunch? I didn't do any of that research. I just went for it because I thought it was pretty cool, and your boy hit a secret rare. So, yeah, that was cool. That was a cool feeling.
That was dope one.
That's dope. That's fucking crazy.
Cisco hit that one, and he got the 4-minute rebound, which was pretty awesome.
Commons, but I'm still happy with it. I'm not mad at that at all, because to get a hit, that's awesome. But then to get that rebound, I was like, man, let me see. I didn't have enough gems to get the third one, even if I wanted to. I did try for it, and after I was like, all right, let me just get out of here.
I think one thing I see on the app too is like everyone's low on gems. Well, everyone's even like big pages that I know, like when they're showing the screenshots or like when they're showing stuff, they're like down to dollars in gems. As far as like,
but you know why?
Because they're broke.
No, not just because they're broke. Because we're in a time right now, whereas if you have gems, there's something probably that you want that you can afford now. Yep. So you're pulling that trigger on it. That's happened to me a couple times where I had some gems. I'm like, oh, I can just wait. I'm going to use these for the drops. And I'm like, wait, it happened to me last night. I picked up the mini lenticular. And I was like, you know what? I said if it got below 115, I saw it. I'm like, you're talking about it. And then it was a palindrome. It was 12521. So that's a dope one too. People like when it comes to the pattern, especially with the 2 and the 5 being the 5 being in the middle and the 2s on the side. because a 5 is just reverse 2. You know, so it's like
right.
the whole mirror effect.
People
on
who
that
go
one is
all
pretty-
into those numbers and stuff. Well,
And
I
it's
think
like a mirror frame. The picture of it.
there will
all
be
of
a
all
day
those
too.
things.
Like right now, those things are still kind of like speculative, but I do think there will be a day
Man.
where that's going to be what everyone knows and everyone talks about when they talk about mint numbers and talk about it'll be common knowledge. Like, you know, right now you're just lucky to get your hands on one. And if you're in the app and these prices, take advantage.
Well, how much did
Not
you get your
financial
mini for?
advice. I bought my mini, if I can remember correctly, it was like 480 or 520. It was one of those 480 or
Crazy.
520.
And we were mad. We were like, "Good day, man! You did it. You got one."
Well, what's crazy is that I sold the Mickey lenticular for $650 to buy that.
And you hit 2 though.
I hit
Mickeys.
3 Mickeys on the drop.
3
I hit
Mickeys.
2 on my phone and one on my girlfriend's
human bot
phone.
farm over here.
So I was like, I have my little bot farm. I have my girlfriend going for it, my sister going for it, but
Not
it's
an
been
actual
tough.
bot.
I've been having to do it that way, and then I pay my sister to go for it. You know, I'm like, hey, I'll shoot you $20 whether you get it or not. And if you hit it, oh, that's a bonus, you know. But she, I've been paying, and we've been getting kicked out. Like it's been tough sledding. And just to pick it up on that, 1 week ago we left, and we were looking at the big drop that was right around the corner was the rewind drop, which was happening that Thursday morning. Now we had the additional gem squeeze, which is why, you know, last week I pulled the trigger and picked up a bunch of things that I've wanted. You know, I knew there was a risk we can go even lower, and now things even look even better. But there will come a day when you're not going to get those prices back.
You miss the train.
Where you're going to miss the train. So I'm just like, screw it. I'll buy my ticket now. The stuff I bought, you know, even getting the Homer at 650 hasn't hit 650 since.
No,
700,
no.
690. It like whoever undercut those, you know, I was there. I was refreshing that Homer and Bart page for 3-4 days straight. Just like, who's gonna be the one to drop it? Who's gonna be the one to drop it? And it was at 840, and I got mine at 650. So that's how crazy as far as just 5 days that
I mean,
price
never
went.
that
But that
patient.
one held. But you seen like
Never.
an avalanche. You seen an avalanche of the prices. Like it was just crazy. And then we're trying to figure out what is the source behind this, because it's after the Mickey drop, after the Knight Rider drop. Shit was still going down, and you're just wondering what's pushing these prices down on these. There's what's coming. What's the purpose of this gem squeeze? It just felt different, and people were hitting on drops. You're seeing it in the feed. The community was happy, even with the announcement of Knight Rider. People were happy. The initial, there were a few people who were mad, dissing it, saying that it shouldn't be for 120, that it should be a 50 gem drop because they're so butthurt about
But
it.
does it talk? It does talk, right?
It talks.
All that interactive,
It's drivable, and it's interactive. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
Under
what more do you want?
10,000
It's the first
mints.
one, and it's like, why that one? It's like, well, because that one had to be the first one. Like that just opens up the door for all the other ones where it's gonna get better, and they're gonna be able to fix certain.
No,
bugs
the
or
main thing
enhance
the
it,
people
you
were
know,
hating
like,
on were saying like it's not bigger than the DeLorean. Why is it going for 120? Like it shouldn't be going for that. And then people were like, it should drop for aftermarket. It should be for 500. You had the people there. I'm gonna buy it for less than listing price after the drop. Guaranteed.
I mean, it's pretty close, but it's holding.
Stay there.
It's
It didn't
holding.
stay there
Yeah,
for
but
very
there's,
long.
but there's people who are so impatient it'll be like drops on Wednesday. Man, it's Tuesday and this shit
Hey,
still
but
isn't
you know
dropped. It's
what's
like,
funny
dude,
though? There was only one edition of that, like one variant. And people bought it and then sold it under list price right after. Like, what the fuck were you going for? you hit for 120. What were you going for?
it's not the one I
It was a
wanted.
101. Like you couldn't have got any better. I didn't understand that shit.
Yeah. So there are just people who like they're testing
they're
the water.
nice.
They weren't expecting.
Maybe they're givers,
or they weren't
Maybe just,
expecting
you know,
to
they're philanthropists and
to
they
hit.
just want to.
They weren't expecting a hit. They hit, or they're expecting it to double. Because I was thinking, I mean, I didn't really have a price prediction on it. I just went for it. Which, by the way, I hit that Knight Rider, which was super awesome too. Because I was out in Vegas with like no service at all, and I didn't preload my gems, which is crazy because that rarely happens, as anyone who may know. If you don't preload your gems, you run a high risk of like the overload happening and you just getting kicked out. And what sucks is that it'll probably still load the gems, but you'll lose the ability to purchase. So you ended up putting that money there, and then you still don't get what you want. So I've had that happen to me during the Deadpool drop, the Christmas Deadpool drop. I learned the hard way. I wasn't sure about that because they had said, Veve had even said, like, you don't have to preload if you don't want to. Wink, wink. But in reality, it's like if you don't, you're gonna end up freaking getting.
It's not that up.
Strongly suggested.
For the big drop, I hit on Mickey. No, I didn't get that ultra rare. I hit though on the uncommon.
They talk about the Mickey Mouse, that's series 2.
So the Mickey Mouse NFT, which was huge too, which was out of nowhere.
Then I picked up 2 comments under retail value.
I picked up a comment too yesterday for
under listing price,
and it has even gotten even lower now. It's like at $40 right now, $42 bucks. Real quick though, let's back up the truck. Look, we had the House of Cards drop, right? Big drop. There's a huge drop. It goes through. What do we see right in the aftermarket? Bots galore. Then they run like I want to say it's like an ether scan or some type of way on the blockchain to see who exactly got these collectibles.
How many unique wallets?
And when they went and looked this up, they seen that about 74, I forgot the exact number, but in the 70s, 70+% of the users who got this drop, the House of Cards, were people who were new users, meaning
no other
they had just started the profile and had no collectibles in their vaults. Now, out of all those people, out of 74 people, or 74%, I would think 10 to 15, maybe 20%, maybe the max.
We're
actual new people and other things that where you could actually say that, or someone who's never hit before and then have nothing in their drop, blah, blah. But yeah, that's hella generous. But then you're saying at more than 50% of all of those drops of those of the House of Cards went to bots. Now that is just a tough pill to swallow for anyone. I don't think, and I love Veve, you know what I mean? I'm critical when I need to be, but at the same time, I give them the benefit of the doubt because they're doing something that's so dope and something beyond what I've been able to see in the crypto and NFT space that I give them a little bit of leeway. Like, man, no one out there is doing moves like this. So you know what? If you fall on your face going for a double, triple reverse 60, 360 dunk, like I'm cool with that. You blow the layup and you're whack, but these bots have just gotten too apparent, and that was just kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. And right after that, we see the gem transfer and the collectible transfer getting suspended. So what was your guys' initial reaction to that? Because I was pretty worried.
I wasn't worried. I thought it was they basically just saying that they're going to do it until they get the KYC up. So, I mean, that lights the fire under them to get that KYC up, which ultimately makes it better for us overall in the long run. So I don't know if I get it, though. People have their fears, and the FUD is real with Veve. Like, it's constant, too. I wonder, like, if people go through the roller coasters of it, if people give up, and then they get locked back in, and then they give up, and then they're locked back in.
Oh yeah, it's like crypto. It's like crypto.
I was at Disneyland,
and that people are like hate Bitcoin. They had a bunch. I've met people who like had a bunch of Ethereum. Bought 50 Ethereum back when it was $200. And then it hit 1,000. They didn't sell, and it rolled back down to 250, 300, and they sold. And they're just like, F that. And now they see it at 3,000 and they're just like, what the, like tripping out. And I think the same thing with the NFTs. This is what's going to happen with Veve. People are going to give up on it, throw it away right now, and then Pokemon's going to come, or Mario, or the gamification. And they're like, I don't even have to put gems all the time. Like I can play to earn and somehow get points that get me NFTs. Like there's a whole other game that I don't even gotta put my own money in to get. Like those people are gonna come crawling back because it's a trip. So I was a little worried when they said no transfers because I knew that would just fuel the FUD fire. Those are 3 Fs for you right there.
Yep.
Just fuel that FUD fire and give more people that ammo they need to say the things that they say about Veve. Like, you don't really have NFTs. They're not even because a big part of the NFT culture is being able to move your stuff around, being able to be like, hey, I bought this, I own it, and it's on a independent, decentralized blockchain that I can go anywhere with it, right? And so that's the idea around it. And so I knew that this would rub people the wrong way. So how about you, Cisco? What do you think? No more transfers? You know, sweat it?
I was at Disneyland, and I was getting your messages, and I was like, seeing everything, and you're like, dude, the community's pissed, man, and like this, and I'm like trying to look at the feed after, like trying to get a gauge on it or whatever. But honestly, when it comes to this FUD, even when it comes to how the bots are, right? So when I first saw that stat you said about the bots, it hit me too. Where it's like, is it the bots are so fast, or is it where it's benefits if you are a new person, because you should get a drop to get you more in on it? You guys, like if these new accounts work better, like if it's a bot account that's repeat, how often? Because how do we fucking get them with
Well, I
just
just
one
think
tap? You get me? Like you can still get them. What are?
But remember, it was a low
strategies?
mint. It was less than 10,000.
No, for sure.
So
I
you're
still think it's
figuring
still
if
high.
in 10,000 releases, they got half of them.
No, but I'm just saying
So
about
imagine on a
either way,
30,000
but
comic, they're
I'm
getting
saying
half.
How you said the benefit of the doubt, right? So I'm saying how I keep myself out of the FUD clouds and all that shit and how I see it. Even with some other shit, like where it came to like, oh, the riots during 2020 and everything, and people said, and it was like, oh, why were there bricks there? Why was it funded? This, like, in my head, if someone really was invested in Recur or in something else in these platforms that they're like, the main FUD is you can't do this, you can't cash out worldwide, you can't do this, you can't do that. So it's like, so what the fuck? You ain't shit. You don't belong here. But yet VV's in this space. VV still has, like, even how you said, once they drop Pokemon, it's like, dude, they've already dropped Spider-Man. They've already dropped Superman. They've already dropped Batman. It's like, these things are already here. And people are like, well, like same thing, same sentiment. Oh, it's going to take this other thing to prove it again. It's like, no, you're just losing faith in it. But I'm saying, if someone had 10 Gs, and they want to say, I don't give a fuck about 10 Gs. I'm a millionaire, but I'm more invested in this other project. I can go for drops, buy things on the drop day, and then list it below and not care about the money I'm losing, just to create even more fun of, I can't believe, look at this shit.
That's some like evil
genius shit. Yeah, but who's to be behind when it comes to investments and money?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it that there's, but you'd eventually, you'd be burning way too much money. But at the same time, if you wanted just solely to do that, I mean, maybe you could.
Sucks.
But I think the real reason is that someone with bots is coming up, hitting these drops, playing the odds, and winning the better collectibles. Notice that on Moon Knight, we're not getting a secret rare. Now, is that on purpose? Because when you do the numbers, bots are winning a lot of these drops. So that's why they're doing them. That's why they could sell. Bots can list like someone who owns a bot. Let's just say like if I did own a bot, right? Like if I'm now making 10, I have to load up $70 because each comic is $7. Now out of those 10, if one hits secret rare, I now made quadruple whatever it is of that $70. Imagine back when the market was hot, and as soon as you hit a secret rare, you're up there for $700 or $1,000. So now let's say you have 100 bots. And you give them all $7. That's $700. And then out of that 100, 5 to 10 of them hit a secret rare. 5 hit ultra rare, 3 hit secret rare. You've made a lot of money off of that. That's more of why people are botting than to deliberately some rich guy's deliberate fucking FUD plan of like, I'm just gonna ruin.
You have to bot it. You just buy them after it and just drop it low.
The bots have been steadily getting worse, and then we're right now in an era right now where it's like the proliferation of it. Like they're just going all out. And that's what the gem fraud was about. And people will get worried, but really people usually do that when you see hacks like this, you see things. It's usually a compromise in the system, or it's people running out of ways to do it. So they're just like, they're smash and grab. Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying. Dude, if you knew the liquor store,
we got to go for it now because
the liquor store is going to hook you up. You don't need your ID. And it's like, oh shit, there's too many damn kids here now. Why is everyone showing up here? Because they know this is the store to get it at, get your stuff at. That you said. Then it's overrun. They start dudes wise to it. Hey, man, I'm gonna get caught up. Boom, smash and grab. And that's exactly so you have a question.
That's kind of what the bot is doing.
Corey Hooper said, "Is there a way to use the bots on VV to our advantage?" Yeah, you need to have bots. No,
yes, no, you do not.
I think so. This is it. Right now, we have the million bot sell off. They are selling off right now. They hit most of those new Mickey Mouse drops. Look at right now. If we go on the market, it's even still right now. Oh, there's that
guy just likes listening to himself.
I do that all the time. There's a bunch of bots on there listing.
Sorry.
And what other time and opportunity are you going to get, in the future or up to this point where the market sentiment was so down and the bots know they're kind of getting cornered off? So they're just kind of selling off and they're forced to sell it way, way below. So that's why I'm just like, I'll buy me one. I'll buy me one of these Mickeys for $40-$50. Like, when has Mickey Mouse ever failed? You know what I mean? Like, you can bet on Disney. It's a pretty good bet. Like, they check the track record. They all usually come through. So when I see that, I'm like, who's really selling?
Oh, shit, right? We got ISIS in the chat.
Yeah, I seen that.
What up, Corey Hooper? Well, another way to use the bots to your advantage.
Like, who's this?
It's when they're
EFJ Sanchez. Oh no, he's a real person. See, but he's done for signing for $45.
He's not a bot.
Ackerman Hallen.
He ain't got a
No
point.
picture, private.
on Veve.
James Marky Mark. No picture, private. Harlan. Colger Dick Income 67.
Colger Dick.
And then here goes Zion Cali. And Zion Cali, this guy, he's listing his Mickey Mouse Let's Begin at $46. He's got two of them. Either he got a rebound or this dude bought it a few days ago and he's like, I'm out of here.
How about this?
Anyway,
We go for the drop, right?
I think that's the only way to use. Let me just finish. Let me finish answering the question. That's the only way to use the advantage right now with the bots. And I think once they start getting delisted, we're going to see a little bit of a supply shock where those low listings, because that's the thing about listings, man, you really got to pay attention. Say if you got 100 listings and the market is quote unquote crashing. Wow, there's 100 listings and there's 20,000 additions. Only 100 people of those 20,000 are even willing to sell. Then on top of that 100 listings, maybe 25 to 30 are pretty much undercutting or selling at what you would call like a buyable range right now, like in a buy range. The other ones are listing at what they want to get paid for it. And some of them just flex list, right? Like I got me a 100K, 100K or here a $2 million Woody. Like that's just you're just listing a flex. And I get it. So some of those you disqualify, and then you have the undercutters you disqualify. Then you have the people who really like they're asking a fair price. And if you really just counted those listings, it's less than usually less than 3%. On a lot of things, it's less than 1%. So imagine when the bots get delisted and it's just those middle pack people setting the market. And then below them as you scroll down, but above them in price are the people with rare items trying to find, where the market, lower mints, which means the rare ones. So I think once they get delisted, it will be a huge advantage, especially with these newer ones, man. There's no way these newer prices are gonna stay like this, they're gonna bottom out and they're gonna go up. Like that's just how it's gonna go. It's such a trip. I cannot see this Mickey Mouse staying at $40.
It doesn't make sense.
$45. Oh,
the first one on Veve, he's in color like that.
The next Veve AMA is gonna be lit. They're gonna have to talk about a lot of stuff.
But yeah, what else are you saying, Cisco?
Oh no, so check this. I have a story about drop day on that one.
On the Mickey Mouse one?
Yeah, go for the Mickey Mouse. Don't get it. Ben gets it. We're happy. I'm like, hell yeah. Hopefully he gets the ultra rare. Rooting for it. Forgot what I had posted. I forget that I put things in the market sometimes, and then it just sells. And I'm like, oh man, this sold. So I got these gems in, So I had enough for the drop, like 70 gems I had in there, and then something sold. I forgot exactly what it was, and I took down my other listings, but it was like, let's say 60 gems or whatever that I got. So I'm sitting on like one something, 130, enough to buy two now. So I'm looking at the comments, because those are cheaper. I'm like, let me see if I can find a good mint, snipe something right now, leave my phone right there in the living room. And I go to the restroom, I'm talking to Nat in the other room, come back. My daughter Zoe has my phone. It's like, what are you doing? I get my phone. She's laughing. All right, cool, whatever. So I go back to looking at the comments. I'm like, yeah, let me see someone posted for like 40 or whatever it was. And that was like 15 or 20 lower than anyone else. And it was like two people. So I was like, oh, I can go I have a chance. I'm not going to be too slow. Purchase says low gems. Like, what do you mean low gems? Like I had 100 something gems in there. I'm good. Look, nope. I have less gems. Something got bought. Now look, she bought the uncommon Mickey for 115 when the floor was 85 or 83. And she spent 115 on it and just bought it.
Was it a good mint?
It was whatever mint. It was in the low 3000s, but still. Either way, it was like, damn. So I literally wasted those gems right there. And that's the second time she's bought something on my phone. The other time she bought the Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
but that one was she bought the exact one I was looking at. I left it on that one. Because she just presses it, and when it pops up another box.
So the moral of the story is don't leave your phone and your Veve open around your children. Because you might end up buying something.
Wasting 30 gems on
overpriced.
You might end up with like a Toby or something.
And that's still going to end up being good watch at 115.
Which I'm actually team Toby, baby. Bought one at $15. He pumped $28. Who says the market's dead? The market ain't dead. I just got a 90% return on something I bought in 2 days. So shouts out to Toby, baby. Shouts out to Toby.
Gang.
That whole collection is like less than 200 to get the whole collection. Dude.
Yep,
the whole
pretty
set.
Crazy. Okay, so then we had the April Fool drop. Did anyone go for the April Fool's drop? I did. I did not hit.
Yeah, I went for, but I didn't get it.
I missed it. I didn't miss that drop.
But I did pick
wasn't
one
even
up.
paying attention.
And then the Mickey one, I went for. I didn't hit. which sucked. And then the Knight Rider, boom, I hit that one in
Did
Vegas
not go
with
for
no
Knight Rider.
service.
Didn't have enough gems. Didn't want to upload them. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna sit this one out.
And that's when I kind of felt pretty much about Knight Rider. I mean, a lot of people were happy with Mickey Mouse. So I'll watch Veve Vault's live stream for drops. So shouts out to Veve Vault. I'll be up in the chat sometimes. I'll be talking smack to my collectibles and stuff. But I actually haven't been on there as much. It would have been cool to be on there yesterday when I hit the Moon Knight secret rare. But anyway, I'm on his, and just by his chat, because he'll get like, I want to say anywhere from like 200 to 300 people, you know? And these are active Veve users, and he's one of the first people I found on YouTube. So once again, shouts out to Vault. But from there, you can kind of get a feel for me, like when comics are hitting, or when bots are like when bots won the drops, you know, to me. So even though I didn't hit this Mickey Mouse, the chat went crazy with W's. Everyone dub, and getting rebounds. Dub 4, dub 4, dub 8, dub 8. And I'm like, damn, these fools are getting 4-minute, 8-minute rebounds galore. And the bots still were able to get on and get a lot, because obviously you could see it in the aftermarket. But I think that people, by then, you could see the tide kind of change a bit. By Knight Rider, I mean, I got it pretty easily. And then this last comic drop, Cisco hits 2, his first rebound ever, and I hit a secret rare. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, they still can't stop the bots, but the transfer of gems did help because of that fact. Now, if someone loads someone up, if you hit that secret rare, now, as you being the bot owner, he can't give it to the main account, because one thing they had seen that Veve said they saw is that right before drops, the activity of transfers would go crazy from accounts sending it to their bot accounts, sending them cheap comics. So right before, that's why you would see the newer comics or things like that before a drop, you're going to see those newer comics get undercut by bots, because the main account is sending them freaking comics to sell real quick to be able to go for the next comic. So it makes sense, you know what I mean? So I know there is a bot community. I've never dibble dabbled with it, but I've seen it on Reddit. I've seen threads before. I've seen like people say like, oh, you can join my private messaging board. I'll teach you how to get bots. I'll teach you how to do this. Cost this much money. And they have their own stats, and they have their own, it's its own community. I'm telling you, like their own, like they probably got their own bot brothers podcast somewhere. Right now in the dark web, there's a Bots Brothers podcast going on where these fools are talking about all the suckers that they're screwing over. And they're like talking about how they're going to just kill the Veve app. And they all work for like whoever owns Wax. I forgot the guy's name because he hates Veve and he wants to take us out. And then the final drop, actually, that was it.
That was it. The Werewolf by Night was the last one.
Well, and then we got the Moon Knight dropping tomorrow. Ben said he's not going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going for both. I'm excited for that one. Because your boy's been hot with the finger right now. The one tap, the boom. I don't even do that double tap shit no more, because I did that with the Mickey one and it kicked me out instantly. And I was like, hell no. So with this Moon Knight one and with the Knight Rider, I didn't do the double tap. I didn't do a line gate or a space gate. I just 3, 2, as soon as it, 3, 2, 1, 0, you got to wait for that 0. Instant, as soon as the 0 turns, boom, you get right through the quickest hands on the West, You didn't do, what'd you do? You did a line gate though, no? I mean, space for gate Mickey Mouse.
For the Knight Rider, it kicked me out. I couldn't rebound.
Good observation. Veve Vault is a good indicator of how the market is in real time. One could somewhat gauge hot items from the interest coming out of Veve Vault live drops. Very true. Very true. You could get a feel for what the overall market's kind of looking like. Again, there's like, you can't always predict it, and sometimes there's surprises. There's been plenty of surprises where we thought things were going to be way higher, and then they kind of weren't. And then other things, like I think even Rewind, for anyone who's been watching our show, you're educated. But a lot of the community didn't really even know about Rewind. People were hating on it all day,
No, and actually, the one we predicted which one we thought would perform the best,
which was Frida.
But you were saying like
I was saying Queen Elizabeth.
But
or Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc got killed.
Yeah, it was Frida. Frida was the hottest ticket. She still is right now.
I know.
Everyone wants Frida.
There's some girl I follow on Veve, and she's like, I don't know why people want Frida. She's famous for making unibrows. And I'm like, no, she's not. She's dope as hell. You know, I got
she's
insulted.
Just famous because Salma Hayek played her with her big titties.
No, she didn't even mention Salma Hayek. I'm like, that's the most dopest part about Frida.
Just because she comes out in Coco.
They just threw a unibrow on Salma, and I was like, damn, Frida wasn't that bomb. Frida's feet stink, but she was still fine. She was still fine as hell. But yeah, once again, I mean, Veve Vault is awesome, bro. Like that's the videos I saw when he put out the tutorial videos when I first got on, where he gave all the tips, you know, about doing stuff. But everything we do pre-drop, because there is rituals and there's things you can do to help your chances. I don't know sometimes, because then you do all that stuff, you don't get shit.
Yep.
And then there's times you do none of that and you hit, because in Vegas, I'm telling you, I ran out of 5G. So I was on 4G. Like my phone company dumped me down for using too much data from being on Veve too much. So like to load up even my messages was taking a second. Then I didn't even load up the gems, and I still was able to load up the gems and get the Knight Rider. And I was like, don't tell me no one went for this. I thought it was like a Toby again, you know? But no, it sold out, and fools were bummed that they didn't. And yeah, I think any other time in the market, if we're back in January, February, and that thing dropped, easily over $1,000 for that sucker. But nope, like right now, it could barely hold listing price, which is insane. But yeah, I really thought we were pretty much close to the bottom last month, or the last 2 weeks. But who knows? Who knows how we bottom out, bro?
It's at 135 right now.
Is this how we become whales?
Yeah, it's just above, but there's a lot of bot listings on that too. So it's like, yeah, Veve does need to take it out or take advantage and just buy that shit from the bot if you really want it. Because once those bots are delisted and it's real holders holding it without the pressure of so many undercutters, then I think there'll be a huge upside.
And
if you're able to get these items.
Thing in the community right now too, there are a lot of people who are taking a step back. They're turning off their apps. They're not going to really upload any more gems. They're trying to distance themselves from it because they don't want to pull the trigger on something they don't want. And also, there's people who have positioned themselves so well that they don't even need to get anything right now. Like they can just sit on what they have already and wait for it to come back up, and then they can come back in later. But think about it, Recur, they announced their worldwide cash out, right? That they can do it. I don't know how many.
I haven't read up on that, but I heard about it.
But either way, that happens. The HRO cards drop for the DC universe, the NFT and the physical, and one just sold for 20K.
I saw that
22K.
But you know that a lot of those users are Veve users.
No,
they're jumping ship.
That's what I'm saying. They're
kind of doubling up.
Be like, oh, I'm gonna go focus on this for a little bit while it's hot.
While people are getting bored a little, because we're not the most interesting and fun things about Veve are not available yet. You know what I mean? Like the things that they promised, and also like the bots have been sucking a lot of the fun out as far as like the sentiment. And at first I didn't care, people like, oh, forget the bots. I'm like, man, stop complaining. And then no, like the bots just started killing where you couldn't even say that anymore. But I think,
but it does. I mean, if you hit a sick drop though, it kind of takes away all that anger and shit that you feel when you first hit one. For people, like it takes you a while to hit one.
Yeah, but then people aren't getting that market price that they thought they were gonna get on that sick drop, and they're just like, man, I got, I'm not special. I'm last. Like this just sucks. And then he's freaking.
Hey, look, I hit Mickey. I hit on Mickey, and it didn't perform like Steamboat right out the gate.
Yeah, but you have a different mindset. I'm saying there's still a lot of fun that it's hard to get.
Well, and if you just saw what happened January, like if me and Ben are telling you, hey man, last time we hit this Steamboat, man, it went to $1,000. This, the uncommon was at 1.4K. Like you're gonna be like, oh hell yeah, then I want to hit, I want to get that. But the minute, it just becomes less sexy, less savory. But I think for the people who understand, if you tell them right now, hey bro, everything's cheap. Everyone just sold off. There's all this FUD. People are all mad. Like this is the time to get in. You can come in and spend the G and walk away with like legit like 2 grails.
Pluto was over a G, and look at it now.
Like 2 grails for like $1,000
the lenticular, the Pluto lenticular was over $1,000, over 1,000 gems for a while, and now look at it.
Well, the Pluto I think it was at 1.4 because the homie Mad Max's brother hit that on his first drop, so he got that beginner's luck. He hit it at 1.4, And even his brother's like, what do you think I should do with it? I'm like, oh, just hold it, bro. That shit gonna be worth a lot, man. That shit good. That shit awesome. He probably looking at me right now, thinking about when I told him, like, fucking
man, that's
mezcal.
just 250 right
I
now.
should have sold that shit. Like, well, of course, hindsight. You know,
Yep.
if you go back to the first episode 9 weeks ago, I said, just for my comics, because I kind of felt like I knew the market was headed down, you know, and I was just like, just to be safe, I'm gonna downsize my comics. I'm just gonna focus on getting those Grail comics, those top 10s. But because I had a bunch, I was like, let me just get them out. And this is back when like Amazing Spider-Mans are doing like $25, $26 just for the Craven series, and every comic seems like it was like 40, 50 bucks. And now you're looking and you're like, every comic looks like it can barely hold 20 of the OGs.
Those are the ones that kill me.
And then all the top 10s and top 5s are under $100, you know? I saw Marvel Comics #1 under $200 for the first time, you know, since I've been on the app, and that's pretty insane, dude. Like, and I got on right before it kind of pumped into that stratosphere, and then, you know, by December it kind of hovered, and in January took off. Like, damn, and we'll get that again. You can never predict when.
I want to segue off what he said with that top fucking 10 and Grail and shit. Because if you guys follow Comics and Crypto, what they did with that Moon Knight, which made me do more research, which things I didn't know about it. But either way, they threw it in the top 10. They put it as number 9 on the top 10. And instantly, and this is what I mean. So that's why I'm telling you, I notice it. If Comics and Crypto doesn't give the hodl for a comic, it doesn't perform as well. It just doesn't. They have a track record of it. And then putting that, as soon as they did that, the floor went from 11 gems to 14.
My secret rare is at
3 gems
590 right now, baby.
You know, like, yeah, look.
And it dropped to 300. It had dropped to 300 yesterday.
The way that they did it,
crazy.
There's still a lot out there. I think it has like 2.1K of them out there right now in the market.
No, but for the secret rare, I remember looking at it. It was like as much as like 70 listings, and right now it's at 34. But yeah, in total for the entire book right now it's 1.4.
1.4K.
So about what?
No, they've gotten sold. I literally 20% of the listings. I literally seen it a few hours
20% are gone. The supply.
It was over 2K.
So that's pretty crazy.
For sure. And
I'm hoping that
I honestly bought some more because I knew other people were going to do it with them announcing it. I wanted to wait. I'm actually like, I didn't even have it.
Well, it was at $11 earlier today. And right now it's sitting at $15.
Now I'm telling you, around like noon.
So, I mean, for you guys who like
I bought
the numbers of it,
percenter for 14 gems.
It's up like 30% today.
I could probably resell that shit right now. But yeah, man, that's a new addition to the top 10 of the crypto grails. I mean, the comic grails on this one. So Comics and Crypto is the one who fucking announced it, though. You bastards.
And the other thing they did with this next drop with that Moon Knight is that it's actually 2 drops. One's going to be at 8 a.m., one's going to be at noon. But 8 a.m. one's for 2, and then the one at noon's for 2 other ones. 2 different characters as well from the show, like as far as
and I think that's a reason too. They're like separating, you know, like the drops. Obviously they're different. They're different people at the end of the day, you know.
But
I mean, same body, same person, but different characters, different characters. So that's why they separated. But I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe Veve knows too. Like, let's separate it so we can kind of target the bots a little better. You know, I don't know. I think there's some strategy involved, and then there's no secret rare, which kind of strikes me as kind of weird. Like, did they not want to make that or what? But yeah. Well, it's still gonna be a dope drop. I'm going for it. Going for it for show. What else did we have this week, man? So much went on.
That was everything, but I mean, I'm telling you, just that gem squeeze that went on from was like Saturday to Sunday, back into Monday. It was crazy. All the golden moments, the new ones again, the duos dropped ridiculously. Winnie the Pooh dropped. It just like all of them.
Yeah,
I think right now you could get Woody.
Winnie the Pooh dropped lower than what I got.
I mean, you could get Timon and Pumbaa right now for 150.
And that's why. And that's why, like, that's more evidence too of why it's like you wanna buy low, sell high, and then hold tight. You want to give it some time before you move them funds. Like, I knew that selling my Mickey Lenticular at 650 when it was up like that. It's funny because when I sold it at 650, the very next day it pumped to like 850, 900, and almost hit a G. And I was like, fuck, you know, maybe I should have waited a little longer. Or maybe it pumped and then I sold it kind of on the way down. I can't remember, but I'm just, my point is, it was the right move. The wrong move was moving that gems immediately to Minnie Mouse and going and getting her while she's also peaking. Because when you just balance out the percentages, they just move together. So you're not really being like, even right now, if you were to sell something right now and then put it into something else, it's the same thing. Even though you're selling for a loss, you're buying something that's also hella down. So they're both down a certain percentage. It's just which one's down more. So you have to do a little research and how far was its all-time high. You know, with these newer items, you have to understand this, and this is true. It's just some crypto stuff, or just somehow markets and stocks work. Not that I'm an expert, but you know,
Not
from
financial advice.
From investing in crypto a little, you pick up some certain things, and you have to understand, like, when you have a thing called price discovery, it means things are going into new all-time highs that they've never been in. So there's no history there. So people, as they buy, they go like, damn, could it go higher? You know what I mean? And they don't really know. So it just depends. Maybe they do and they keep pushing it, or maybe they just stop. And as it gets higher into new uncharted land, the people who are already holding, they start selling off. So which doesn't let it keep going up. When something has a history of being so high, it's almost like human nature to get it there in some weird way. Like, or to keep investing. Oh, it's at 1,500. Oh, well, it went to 2,200. So this is a good buy because there's $700 in between, as opposed to when there's no evidence. And the reason I say that is a lot of these new items, they don't have that history. They're gonna be in price discovery. So there's gonna come points when they run up and people sell off. While the older items that already have that history, people are gonna be less inclined to sell off as it skies up, because they're like, oh, Spider-Man hit 2 Gs last time. I ain't selling that 2 Gs. We're going to 4. We're going to 6.
And also,
you know what I mean?
So also you have people who
keep that in mind, y'all.
Also, you have people who, you know, if you joined in January and you saw where the price is at, might have been like, damn, this is exciting. Look, this is crazy. Look where it's all at. I want to do my research. I want to know what's going on with this because I want to know if I'm late or not. If you're joining in April, you're looking at everything like, the hell? You're not going to get excited to research it to see where these all-time highs were, where it could be, where it was, you know? So it's almost like the people.
Why did it go down?
It's almost like the people or the kids who were 9 years old, 10 years old for Kobe's last 2 years in the NBA. It's like, Kobe sucks. This dude he doesn't even play every day. He only scores 20 points. He's just like, they don't even know where it was before, you know, like the level of game, but this is all they've known for now. If they joined in the end of March, you know, like in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because of a drop or because someone said, hey, this is a good buying time. Then they go in, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. And that's why I posted and said, hey, if you're new to Veve, if you just joined in the last 2 months, 2 weeks to like 2 months, or even like 2 to 4 weeks, welcome, enjoy, because everyone else is down right now, like 50 to 70%. Even the whales are fucking hurting. Yep. So like enjoy this, because you're coming in at a time where anything you buy, take your pick, even if it goes down a little, you know, it can only go down so much more. Like literally, it can only go down like another 20 to 30% for worth nothing, which will never happen. But that's literally as far as it will go. It has so much more upside. So, you know, you're pretty lucky. But again, if you're running in at a time of a lot of FUD, you're running in at a time where things don't look too good, and it's almost counterintuitive for you to say, hey, this is the best time to buy. Because look, like, no matter, even I couldn't tell someone right now, a normal person on the streets, hey man, you want to buy these collectibles? They're digital, right? Like they live on your phone, and what? All right, well, how do I do it? Cool. What should I buy? Well, this thing, it used to be worth like $1,000, and now it's like worth like $100. But it's supposed to go back up, and it's really good, and you should definitely buy it though. Like, people are, it's almost like, huh?
$100.
$100? Why would I spend that on that? And
Can
especially
I get it back?
Nah, it's gonna sell it? Yeah. And what do I do when I sell it?
Well,
you actually can't. Yeah, you actually can't sell yet. That's like the one that just like, or you can't take out for money. Yeah. That's the one where it's like, man, if it wasn't Spider-Man, if it wasn't these characters, like Veve would be screwed off of that.
But it's making this content if it wasn't
no, that's
characters.
why. It's because of that, and that's why they're able to. And so might as well use it to your advantage. Take your sweet ass time, do it right. We don't want to get sued. We don't want to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
Recur got MTL. Recur, great. Let's see how it goes. These fools got that. Great. God bless them. All the power to you. But it's like I hope, and what we know is like the same people who were able to secure these IPs and secure these huge drops and these huge collectibles. I would have faith that the same people who are able to secure that, and Disney trusted them, and that are going to do it right. And maybe it takes longer, but it's going to get done right. And that's why I'm just like, I'll ride with y'all. Like, I'm not tripping, because if you would have told anyone, hey, you can get the first ever Disney NFT, but here's the catch, Disney had, right? Like, hey, here's the catch on the first ever Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse statue. It's $333. We love the 333 Club 33 Disney, right? But here's the catch. You can't touch it. You can't move it. You can't sell it. You can't do nothing for 2 years. 2 years, but it's yours.
Get 5 of them.
People would line up around the block and buy it like you wouldn't believe. People would already buy the rights to buy it off of them when they get it. They wouldn't even be
I got this in 2 years. You want it?
Exactly. No one would complain. And then the fact that it's still worth $16,000 right now, and people would still be like, "Oh, this sucks." And when it isn't even 1 year old. It's not even 1 year old. Like, it's 6 months old.
Yep.
It's going on its 7th month of existence.
That's the impatience.
Like it just blows my mind. Like, what are you guys talking about? And it's a loud minority, man. It's just a loud. Anyway.
But when you don't know any better, that's all you know. Like that's what they've seen. They've seen the outrageous prices. They've seen it go up.
People don't even
see
know
it go
about
down.
it yet, dude. Even the potential that it's gained is just off of the people who know about it currently. Like, it's crazy. I was at Disneyland. I was doing the Winnie the Pooh. Put my golden moon right there at the Winnie the Pooh ride. Took a picture of Zoe and Nat at the exit. And I'm taking one. They go in the store. I'm just taking one of Pooh right by the exit. Some lady comes up. She's like, "What is that? Is that on the Disney Genie app? Is that a feature they have on it?" And I'm like, "Veve, bitch." Download the app.
That's fucked up. No, he told her to watch the show, and she's right now watching it.
I was like, "Nah, it's fucking Veve so much." Oh, wow, like this, and I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't have enough time to explain. We're down right now. You wouldn't believe me if I told you
we're down right now.
You wouldn't believe me.
See me, I would have been like, "Wow, it's funny you say that."
Already,
because there are these things called non-fungible tokens.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. NFT. Oh no. Oh, he's one of those.
He's one of them.
He's one of those crazies. No, I mean, my idea is still Disney. I'm pretty sure they're doing it. And Cisco said he saw it on a Toontown sign. But when I was at Toontown and they had all the houses closed
now,
and they had all the most of it blocked off, I was looking at that and I even told Celeste, because by then the lenticulars were already out. I had them, and I'm like, it'd be dope where if you could come in and they have 5 blank spots, you know what I mean? And you could put your lenticulars on that spot. They do the AR, and they've done this with Snapchat. Remember when Snapchat was all big for having filters and geo filters? We're going to have geo filters and geo AR where the location you're at will have certain features. So you go and you line up the entire set. You got to be one of the set holders, and that'll make Goofy go crazy when this happens, right? Like a utility, because in the end of the day, in order to have the set, you need that Goofy. But Goofy being the most rarest piece. Mm-hmm. So whatever mint numbers are Goofy, if there's 7,000, that means there's only 7,000 could actually have the set. So only 7,000 people in the whole world of 7 billion. How many Disney fans there are? Of 1 billion Disney fans, only 7,000 of them can do this feature. Yes. Line them all up. And AR, Geo,
or the
and some other
built where it's like we're all there, and we all 5 of us, like the Power Rangers, have to have our one at the same time, because you can't do it.
No, you would have to transfer to someone.
No, like you.
Oh yeah, you could do that too.
Like, meet up with someone.
You could do that too.
And it's all of you guys.
So here's my idea for Disney. You do that, and then boom, they're on the wall, and when that happens, a show starts. Mm-hmm. Like the lights go, and boom, the spotlights hit you. And they play this special video and all this stuff. And everyone just stops and looks at you. Wow. Yeah. And you're right there. And they're all like, what made you so special? And everyone's pulling out their phone, and you did it for your daughter because it was her birthday. And they're just like, how do we get this
Mini
Disney
for $580, bitch?
How did you get this
even have it
feature, this special thing that Disney did for you? Like, it's like getting your name
And
up
it's
at Dodger
exclusive
Stadium.
already,
You know,
yeah.
like you did this on your own by being a collector. It's a utility, and people would go absolutely ape shit for
something
that.
like that is going to happen at Harry Potter World, the Universal Studios.
already
Your
have it.
wand
Yeah,
can
the
set
wands
things
are
off. You put your
interactive,
wand
yeah.
over something, and it'll throw something
They
out of
sell
it, or like, you know,
interactive
like
wands.
it
Yeah,
activates
they already
different
do that.
things like that. You know, so at the new Toontown, what they have is each of those characters that have a lenticular have their house in Toontown. It already exists. They're redoing it all, and they're gonna rebrand the roller coaster that they have right there. They're keeping the Roger Rabbit ride in there,
Mhm.
and then what I noticed when I went is that Mickey and that Minnie on the strollers you rent, they're on it. Like, you know, have the tandem stroller with the two kids,
Oh, yeah.
the two kids. It's on the side, dude. And some of those look beat up, like if they've been there for months and months. You know, if you go on the website to look up Toontown's renovations, it has the Mickey character, the new design one, right? People don't even bat an eye, don't even realize or pay attention to it. It's just like, oh, it's this different version of Mickey. Cool.
Do they
These
have the
lenticulars-
Goofy though?
Well, that they only
Does he
they
look
only
like a
put
bum?
Minnie and Mickey.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. Those are the two that they're showing.
Because I'm like, are they gonna use bum
He looked like a bum.
No, and
He does kind of look like a bum.
bum Goofy?
but having those two, and after getting that lenticular last night, now that I'm a part of the club, man, those lenticulars are nice, man. Even if you think about it, as far as the VV verse or metaverse, all that, like the fact that they're lenticulars, when you walk by it, it's like a hologram. You know, it changes to the back, to the front. You know, like the way it goes.
Music.
And the music, exactly. Those features right there are gonna be so dope for galleries and for things like that. You know, like just having those, they're amazing. They're top notch NFTs right there, and for them to be as low as they are right now is pretty damn amazing. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, it happens, man. Any market things are gonna get crushed, no matter how. You know, that's why they say if you want to secure some of those, safer bets, you have to buy the bigger things. The bigger things have less editions, less people who are with paper hands, people who put in bigger money, so they're not in a rush to sell. You know what I mean? Like, like even the people right now listing those waltz, like you can't take the money nowhere still. And right now you can't. There's a crackdown on selling and you can't gem transfer. So what are you gonna do with that? You're
Well,
gonna
maybe they have
sell it
free
right now,
vaults and
list
they're
it.
gonna
I
stock
mean,
up on other stuff
I
that they
get
want.
that too, but then why not sell it a month ago?
No, but
Why not
never
sell it
the
a
wall.
thing?
How about never sell it? Never
No,
sell
but
your wall, man.
Right now, you're only doing that because of the
Listen,
current state of the
yeah.
market. You're letting the market dictate you doing that, and there aren't just normal people who will believe the FUD and saw their gains go down so much and just don't understand. You know. Oh, Joe's asking me to.
He's mentioned we need to.
I think
So
it's
then,
that.
what was it? Oh yeah, so Alex was giving me. So I was in Vegas this past weekend with my boys,
Kit?
Alex and Just Joe. And Alex was giving me some shit because last week's episode, I said when I walk up to my house in the metaverse, and that I said it just like so serious, and that he busted up just laughing, and then that when I said it, that you made a face like whatever, and then I told
I
them
don't
fools-
remember doing it, but I hope I did.
I was just like, whatever. And I was like, and I told them fools like, man, you guys are messed up. I'm telling you guys a real thing. I'm like, I'm gonna have a house in the metaverse. And then Joe's just laughing. I'm like, I'm gonna have a house. Like, I don't get it, right? And I'm like, all right, fool. I'm just saying though, I bought Homer because I don't want Pooh and Piglet. Like, they're cool.
Next to Pooh,
But like, I ain't trying to come in to my house in the metaverse and see Pooh and Piglet hugging. If I wanted to see Pooh and Piglet hugging, I'll just have Ben and Cisco hug, and Joe just just goes
Hey,
crazy.
Hey, fuck you, Joe.
That show was fun, man. I had a great time in Vegas with my boys. That's a whole other podcast to tell. Podcast that we can never air publicly. But yeah, that was awesome this past weekend. And I want to have Joe on the podcast because I want him to sit here and shoot holes through all the things we say and the reasons that we believe in VV and believe in NFTs and believe in the metaverse and the crypto space as a whole.
He's gonna be a FUD.
He could just come through and try to bust our balls, and be like this and that.
And then we could
talk to him.
We jump him every bad.
Joe, do you accept the invite?
Joe,
comment in
you
the
invited.
Comment in the
Where's
feed.
Kit from Knight Rider? Oh, I got Kit in my collection, And like I said, I don't own a car in the real world, but I own 2 in the metaverse. One is a DeLorean. 2, the second one is Kit, Knight Rider, a talking car that fights crime.
His next is Herbie.
Next, I'll get, Herbie will be great. No, one day I will own the Batmobile, and I will drive it in the metaverse to my meta house.
Millennium Falcon.
And I don't care how you feel about that, but that's going to be a fact right there.
Joe said, let's go. He's down. All right, we'll have you on.
Yeah, so to our fans out there, we're gonna have my homeboy Joe.
You bring the drinks.
He's gonna come in. He's gonna talk smack about NFTs and VV, and we're gonna try to convince him on the show to buy an NFT, to buy a VV NFT right there.
And mind you,
Joe's a big nerd too.
I'm not
Joe's a big
knocking
nerd, so he'll love this
people,
stuff.
But on top of that, Joe don't believe in NFTs, but he's a very strong religious person. I won't say what he believes in, but I mean,
no,
dude,
a lot of faith. No, right before we leave Vegas, on our hangover breakfast, him and Alex have this big old religious debate, bro. And I literally couldn't listen to it just because I was like, we shouldn't be talking about this at breakfast. And things were getting heated, and they're all yelling at each other and getting mad. And I said, if you fools don't stop, I'm just gonna walk off. I'm just gonna walk, dude. Like it's just like I don't want to hear this right now. You guys are tripping. But anyway. We're gonna leave religion out of this.
If
okay?
we can't convince,
we're gonna do. This is about NFTs.
That's what
this is about the metaverse.
We'll
all right.
buy it ourselves.
But yeah, we gotta have Joe on, and yeah, man. There's always gonna be some friends and people out there who don't understand this stuff. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we love to talk about it. We gotta educate people. We can't act like, oh, they don't know, they're dumb, because no, this is gonna be the norm. This is just like the internet, just like people used to say when we used to get on MySpace, right? I'll never have a MySpace. Then you got on Facebook. I'll never have a Facebook. Fools got on Facebook. Oh, Instagram. Oh, Instagram, taking pictures. That's stupid. I'll never get on Instagram. TikTok. I'll never do it at TikTok. You see their fucking ass. Yes, if they got whatever's coming next, people will follow it. When they're giving out free NFTs at the movie and the Dodger game and this and that, and you got all this stuff, you're gonna want to ride around.
Hurry up, we gotta be there. We have to be the first 10,000. That's when I get our NFT.
Straight up.
Yep.
You're gonna want to ride around in my DeLorean and kick it in my man cave in the metaverse. So you'll be invited, dude. We're just already getting the real estate there. But yeah, educate your friends, man. Let them know it's all right. It's all right to be first. Yeah, people laugh in your face. Joe and Alex laughed in my face when I told them my real plans. I said I bought Omi so that I can buy land in the metaverse. And they're like, what? They're just laughing. I go, I'm serious. Then I told them, you know what? I'm gonna sell some of my crypto and I'm gonna live in Puerto Rico so that I don't have to pay income tax. And they both laughed. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You guys are laughing at my dreams right now, dude. Like, these are literally my dreams.
So stupid.
In the VV verse. In the VV verse.
So we do, ladies and gentlemen, have a special brand breakdown. 3 weeks in the making for Mr. Funk Vision over here, who will be continuing. We're 3 weeks late. So it's 3 weeks ago you're supposed to do it. And now you're doing it now. All right. All right.
3 weeks ago we're supposed to have working headphones.
He said you should only hear half of what you say because only half of it's bullshit and half of it's true.
The real treat is if you'll shut the fuck up the whole time.
Anyway, I was giving you the introduction to your breakdown, and I'm gonna shut up.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Cisco's breakdown of
what are you breaking down?
I am going to break down Cartoon Network.
There we go.
That's what I'm breaking down today. Many you guys might know about it. Some of you might not know about it. But Cartoon Network is on the app. They have had 2 drops on the app already. They had not 2 drops. It's actually 4 drops on the app. But it was 2 shows, Powderpuff Girls and Adventure Time. 2 of their most popular shows that they've ever had on the network. But a quick little history breakdown of Cartoon Network. All right, it was the Turner Entertainment, their broadcasting system. That's where it all starts from. In '86, Ted Turner, his broadcasting system, acquired Metro Goldwyn Mayer and United Artists. They acquired their studios and all of their previous content. After just 75 days, because of the ticket price and everything, and the worry about too much debt, he was like, "Nah, you got to sell it." His advisor was like, "You should just sell it back, man. It's too much. You took on too much." 75 days. Sells it back, but he kept all the movies and shows before 1986, May 1986. Anything made before that, which included Looney Tunes, Popeye, Tom and Jerry. Those are amongst the big ones that he was able to have like reruns of and to keep content of, right? After that, he was able to In 1991, he beat out the MCA Inc., which was back then the owner of that. MCA Inc. was the owner of Universal Studios and also Hallmark Cards. They both were going for it, all three of them, for the animation studio of Hanna-Barbera. And he ended up getting that for $320 million. So now he has his TNT Entertainment and his old media conglomerate that he runs and everything, and he's just sitting on all these cartoons and a sick ass library of cartoons and his vision of how he wanted to have the network 24 hours of cartoons. So he hired the TNT, like a head executive chick from there to head Cartoon Network. And they weren't sure, it's never going to work. 24 hours of cartoons, no way. But they had already done CNN. He was a part of CNN, the 24-hour news station.
So he made the 24.
And
he
it
made
was
the CNN of cartoons, which is Cartoon
And
Network.
he already has CNN, yeah.
And it's CN.
Yeah, CN, exactly.
Just took one N out.
So when he ended up doing
Ted.
that,
You bastard.
they were able to use all the old content they had from the Hanna-Barbera and from everything from before. And they started off with Droopy Dog from Tom and Jerry. Ooh, and that was the original mascot.
So that's the one we
Cartoon
want.
Network.
The Droopy Dog, drop
is the original,
on
yes.
Veve will be.
That's the original.
Ted Turner will give you 10 mil for it.
They even the show was called Droopy's Guide to Cartoon Network, and it was like educating their audience and showing them, but still networks wouldn't pick it up. So cable companies wouldn't pick up Cartoon Network, but since he had TNT and they started doing and TBS, they would do packages. If you have TNT and TBS, you also get Cartoon Network, and boom, it exposed people, and the popularity just took
I wonder
off.
if like WCW Nitro funded Cartoon Network. Anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't shut the fuck up during my breakdown. That was the real mystery we were trying to figure out.
I'm
And then,
providing some commentary.
So,
If you didn't know, Ted Turner owned WC.
Fast forward, 2019, Warner Media basically took over Ted Turner Entertainment. They took over it, so they already started Xing out
Who?
any Warner.
Oh,
So Warner Bros. They pretty much started Xing out any trace of Turner. Fucking so from that one, they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna include that in any of the cartoons, any advertisement of it. So that's where we're at right now. Cartoon Network still does exist, but it's now under Warner Studios.
All right.
So Warner Media.
Questions?
So, no, wait, I'm not done. Shut up. So when it was started, also when Cartoon Network was first created, it was supposed to be made as a network for artists to have high budgets and complete freedom to the artists to make the cartoons that they wanted, and they would debut a bunch of weird ass cartoons. Some would hit, some would miss. But the funny thing about it, or like the tie to Veve is along those same lines. Like these artists that have had drops on Veve is not a one and done. They have their whole vision of what they have and how they did their drops. Even the Toby, that was his original drawing he did in his fucking notebook. Why would that be his only NFT he's ever gonna drop on this app? It's the
and like you saw with the Rewind, they signed a 6-year deal with Veve. I don't think Vive's just being like, hey, give us one drop and you're out. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. So that's the tie to even how Cartoon Network was when they first started, and they were like, they revolutionized that shit because people weren't doing that. They even had Comedy Central to compete with at the time still, and they had fucking
keep going.
They had Comedy Central to compete with, and shit. What was the other one? Fat Boy, fucking Cartoon Network, Comedy Central, and there's one more. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was more like PC. And Comedy Central was more South Park and more like on the political side to talk about all that shit. So they wanted to be in the true to just like they had sex appeal shit, Johnny Bravo, things like that. Like they were like in the middle, but they weren't going to be for little kids only, and they weren't going to be for like the adult side of it. Getting into that now, the different things that we have to look forward to from this partnership with Cartoon Network. Yeah, remember, if you do remember, there was Adult Swim, there was Toonami. They have Cartoonito, which is a new one that launched in 2021 in the US, but it was from like I forgot what other country that it was. But that's how they would block in together all their different shows that they would have, So that brings us to the drops they've already had. They had on Cartoon Network, they also have Acme Night, where they show family movies and stuff. So if Cartoon Network owns all the rights to these movies and stuff too, it's not just the cartoons that they could drop. They have so many different things.
So how much of those IPs though are like Cartoon Network original content and then ones that he just owned from?
All right,
because I'm wondering, right? Because
the majority of everything, it was from before 86, right? That's the May 86. That's the date that all the classics, the Tom and Jerry's, and all that. What they did with the IP,
Cartoon Network got Flintstones, Jetsons, all that.
But they
all that Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, the Hanna-Barbera shit, that's all right there on it. They had all those cartoons.
Damn, that'd be dope.
So besides that, even if those
I'll be down for a
even if
Jetsons
those IPs
NFT.
are tied up, they did find the not a loophole, but they were able to use it as their own because remember they did Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and Space Ghost was an old ass cartoon from like the 50s or something like that, and they just turned it into a talk show, and they used them for that, and that's how they drew in the adult audience. So like they were able to.
I didn't know that.
They
either.
were able
Space
to
Ghost NFT though.
Yeah, exactly. Space Ghost is another one that could come up. So and even just real quick, just before I get into the other ones that we could be seen in the future, from the ones that they have had already, the first drop they had from it was in October 2020. It was the Adventure Time. They had 4 drops. It was four items. You know, the common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare. Those were the 4 that they had. They range from $12.99 for the common to $15.99 for the ultra rare. Of those drops, the majority on the market right now, there's less than 74 of each of them on the market. So people are holding them. The commons had 5,000 editions. The ultra rares had about 1,750. Right. So either way, people
they have cult following.
Yes. Some of them, the prices didn't go all the way up. The ultra rare on the Adventure Time was at 500 right now. So that's a big jump up, and it's holding strong.
I remember that Jake the dog. That thing went to like $400 on the pump, like 350, 400. I was like, what the? And the Ice King, I was like, I never watched that Adventure Time.
Jake the dog's at 94 right now.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? Why is this thing going crazy?
And I was at $15.
Ice King to the moon. I'm like,
so that was the first one they did, right? They did Adventure Time. They dropped 4 items. Then they did Powder Puff Girls. They dropped Blossom, Buttercup.
Yeah, those
Mayor
went crazy too.
And Mojo Jojo, right? Of those, there's less than 50 on the market of each of those. And for the amount that they charged, it was $12.99 to $15.99, the price range. Not one of those is under $150 right now, and the highest one is Mayor of Townsville at $490.
So what does that tell you? Though?
That they hold strong. For the characters and the fans that they have of it, not many people are listing, and as low as it's gotten, that's still far above their list price because these weren't 60 gem items.
They didn't even drop Bubbles, so that shit's still gonna drop.
No, so Bubbles did drop. Bubbles has already dropped. Let me get into it. What? But look, so that was November 4th. Listen, November 4th.
Yeah, Bubbles.
Well, listen, let me get into it. Let me
Bubbles
break it down.
There, Professor.
Let me break it down.
I went to that.
Look, November 4th is when they dropped the first set of Powder Puff Girls, right? That was Blossom, Buttercup, Mayor, and Mojo Jojo. January 27th, 2021, last year, they dropped Bubbles, Donnie, Professor Utonium, and then him, the Devil Foo, right? The lowest
Inferno High.
The lowest one was $15.99 for Professor Utonium, and the highest one was $19.99 for him. Right now, him is at 5K. Professor Plutonium is at 1.7K.
Yeah, you never seen those?
That boy.
Listen, crazy.
Listen, Donnie is at 90K and Bubbles is at 4.8K. And on the market, there's only 15 Bubbles on the market. There's only 3 Donnies.
But because they're scarce too.
Yeah,
how many Donnies are there? How many more mints were there?
The Donnies was 1750.
1750.
And
so less than 2,000.
And the Bubbles was 5K.
Yeah,
5K Bubbles. And but either way, my point being, those are the ones.
No one's selling those.
But also, you know what that tells you? You know what that tells you also is that
people don't even flex with those.
It's not even just that. Yeah, people.
Oh, there's like a Donnie club. They're trying to treat it like their own little like
of Donnies on
board 8, like like in a sense where when the people who hold the Donnies, they're gonna do their own little club. So.
And the trend that I'm seeing on that, and something to look forward to when it comes to this is the fact that when there's that many characters,
Donnie only has 150 minutes.
So wait,
150
why is the first drop performing so much like not as good as the second one?
Because more people got it already. They didn't have to fight for it, so they already have it. Like a lot of people are holding it, and a lot of people are holding it already.
These dropped so early, dude. In the app, like you had to be in.
That's what I'm saying.
You just had to be lucky, you know what I mean? And they just go crazy. And the people who are holding it, who knows? I don't know.
Think about if you're trying to compete.
You have to do a little more research because, like, I don't know if I remember either hearing that a Donnie got bought at like some ridiculous price.
I heard something about that. The Donnie got bought, but then when it asked for a second approval, and like I don't think the guy did it or something, it was like 70K or something.
Really?
Like that.
I don't know.
That didn't want to go through.
I've heard in the folklore and the legend of Donnie someone bought one, and
they haven't had a Cartoon Network drop since January 2021, so that's over a year ago already from those. And so those are the 2 that dropped. What I said, the fandom of it shows that people are holding it regardless of the scarcity of it.
Shouts out to Corey, man. He might be the 4th member of our Veve Bros, bro, because he got some gems too. See, and now getting into the last part, the shows to look forward to. There's still Dexter's Laboratory. That's a part of Cartoon Network. Ed, and Eddie. And then they're going to do scarce
The Amazing
drops.
World of Gumball. They had Teen Titans that was on Cartoon Network as their shit, and it was like a popular one that's syndicated now, and those are the ones that people watch.
And Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, Teen Titans Go. They also have Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy, Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Cow and Chicken,
Samurai Jack. Tom and Jerry. I'm not sure about the IP.
Damn, that one was
Tom and
classic.
Jerry. I'm not sure about the IP on it. They had Cat Dog. Yeah, they had regular show. Scooby Doo was a part of that they picked up too. They had Johnny Bravo.
Let's see.
But Johnny Bravo in today's age,
not from Argentina. What do they call it? Codename Kid Next Door.
Yeah, Codename Kid Next Door.
Kids Next Door. My bad.
Looney Tunes.
Which one did you say right now? Who did you say you didn't know about?
Johnny Bravo. Saying because
no, the food before the old school one.
Scooby Doo.
Scooby
Doo is part of it.
No, someone else.
Samurai Jack.
Someone else. Not Samurai Jack. Who was it? Damn, not Scooby Doo.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Keep going.
They have Young Justice too. That's it. What do you mean? You probably set it off with a different one.
It's on your list here. It's one of the older ones towards the end. It was Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, yeah. And Tom and Jerry said they used Droopy Dog from Tom and Jerry.
Like Dragon Ball Z came out on Toonami, so this Cartoon Network have sometimes because that's Toei Animation.
Well, that's the thing. Toonami is a part of their
Warner Brothers currently owns the rights to Tom and Jerry.
And Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network. Warner Media owns Cartoon Network since 2019. They took over it.
Boom.
Tom and Jerry, see, that'd be one we got to do like a breakdown on because that'd be a big one. Like them fools do crazy numbers in the theaters, bro. Like that. Tom and Jerry, kids love Tom and Jerry, and it's so old. Like parents, even we used to watch Tom and Jerry when we were kids. Like it's crazy.
And in closing on Cartoon Network, the main point that I took away from it is the fact that where it all started, and it wasn't just like some mission statement that he had on his deathbed or something. Like it was well known that there was a network started for the artists to push the art of what cartoons can be and the entertainment value of it. Because before it was like a Saturday morning cartoon, or you had to seek out your cartoons, or like it was made for the nerd guy who wants to watch it 24/7, who could go to sleep 3 a.m. watching it, like we used to do as kids. And it was for that, and for what running, like I said, and for what VV is for the artists and for the NFT space now. I think that's gonna play a big part into it, especially when it comes to having like the opportunity to hire artists to do these types of works and stuff. Because think about people who are gonna no, but not just VV. The brands can choose an artist to do these things with. You get me?
I mean, I don't know. I think because it's owned by Warner Brothers, like they're gonna just drop the heat. Like they're gonna just give those big IPs and make big ass money off of it.
Even more heat besides Cartoon Network though. On top of it, like their Saturday morning cartoons, they were strictly speaking cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Like all that stuff that came out on every Saturday morning cartoon that was on Channel 5.
So what you're saying, Ben, is that the next brand breakdown will be Warner Brothers done by you. There we go.
No, maybe. Have they ever spoke with VV on an AMA? You never know. They probably have. Who knows?
But yeah, Cartoon Network, very interesting. I think it's gonna be dope buys in the future.
Yeah, but it's been a minute since their last drop.
It has been a minute. It has been a minute.
A really, really long.
But the thing is, too, it was dropped in January of 2021, January 27th. So it's like, was it a drop-based thing? Like, oh, you're gonna get only these 2 shows. And even then, as far as popularity goes, like Powerpuff Girls is up there, but it's not necessarily the ultimate best one. Dexter's Laboratory is one of those top ones up there. So is Adventure Time in there. So is Powerpuff Girls is one of the top ones for sure.
Girls up there.
No, it is for sure. But Ed, Edd n Eddy is the most popular one as far as like fans go, and so is Dexter's Laboratory. And those started on sub shows where those were just shorts. They were just shorts. Dexter's Laboratory was a short, and then they made the full show out of it. Ed, Edd n Eddy's, those were little shorts from their different networks. Programs they had, because that's what it was about. I'm telling you, it was like started as just winging it, dude, just figuring out to put up these new different animations. It's pretty dope that like we were a part of it. We watch Cartoon Network all the time. We watch Adult Swim all the time. So all those things are could be tied into it.
Nice. Well, Cisco, thank you for a beautiful brand breakdown on Cartoon Network and its history, rich history, and its potential. And it has some pretty dope ass NFTs already on. See, the license says Cartoon Network. So I don't know. VV doesn't have Warner Brother brand as far as like an overall Warner Brother brand, like tab, like they do Universal. So interesting. predicting how much IP off of Warner Brother Veve will actually have. We can only speculate. But Cartoon Network, just as a standalone, has some hot fire, and it would be dope to see it because it has been a while. Them drop something like a Dexter's Lab, something outside of the Marvel, outside of the Disney realm. I think Veve, the community, would be kind of refreshed by that. Just because you kind of get fatigue from it, you know, from you getting Disney fatigue, you know, Marvel fatigue. Like, obviously, the comics, you're going to get them. They're cool. They're going to be here and there. If you really look at it, Vivi's given us like one big one every month, you know, or at least the last 2 months, 3 months in a row, because we got February, you know, we got some dope ones in February. And if you look at Hero for Hire and the FA with Killmonger on the comics, those are pretty nice. Then you go and you have the, what's it called? Ghost Rider in March, right? Was that last month? We got Ghost Rider, was it late February? I can't remember.
Can't even tell, dude. Time was so slow.
I think it was in February.
Was it? Well, we've gotten some pretty good heaters, dude. And now this one too with Moon Knight, that's another good comic they drop on us. So, you know, that to me, I like that doesn't get tiring, but it does kind of, I feel like the community right now, a lot of Disney, they're kind of taking it for granted. It's kind of like, but you know what? It ain't gonna stop. Let's be real.
Why no one's saying, oh, damn, Disney's dropping Moon Knight and then Miss Marvel's going to start in 2 weeks? You know, like, what the hell
No, that's why they
like,
got their stuff lined up. They know people are going to buy it. They know people are going to want it. But I just mean like the community overall, a drop from Cartoon Network. If we were to get a Dexter's Lab right now, it would be the perfect type of drop just to kind of give people that feeling like, there we go.
Listening, David, you
know what I mean? Like,
drop Dexter's
hell yeah, that's what we needed. We just needed something cool.
You idiot. Like put some dope ones on his mom's sexy legs, just the legs of the mom.
Yeah.
You know, like that would be funny. That would be a good one to have.
Cow chicken.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man.
Well, that's right. His Dexter's mom is a full mom.
Dexter's mom has a full body.
But she has that miss.
It's cow and chicken.
She has that miss.
You can't see their torsos.
She has Elastigirl's
body
legs
though. And shit.
Well, yeah, man. Shouts out to Corey Hooper out there.
Yeah, Corey, my bad.
Shouts out to the homies who jumped in. Shouts out to ISIS who try to come up on our shit and drop some crazy ass stuff. Who knows what's going on? I blocked them though. We ain't having no ISIS in our chat, baby. Even though they would have ran. They're the bots, bro. Those are the bots right there. See, ISIS just destroying America by fucking up our VV. And besides, we do this for our real fans like Corey and like our random friends who jump in, and the people who truly support us on the app and chime
Eric
in
Castillo,
and say what's up.
You're probably looking for us tomorrow night. We did it tonight, so
for those of you gonna be like,
see this,
you should have seen them back in episode 9.
What's up, man?
This is how they used to be.
This show used to suck, but then it got good.
Shitty.
All I know is that the day we blow up with this show is gonna be this day, and you're gonna be with us, Corey. We're all gonna be looking at our vaults. We're all going to be right here on the app the same way we were like earlier on this show, except we're going to have the biggest smile on our face. Like, just like, damn, instead of being like talking, damn, can you believe how low that shit is? We're going to be sitting here like, oh my God.
Don't sell.
Dude,
don't sell.
Can you believe that we bought this at this price? And oh, remember, and I didn't buy this at this. And now it's at, now it's at 1,200. Like, we're going to be sitting here having that episode, and then that's when everyone's going to want to watch. Or like the friends are going to, how do I get in on this? How do I know? It's such a trip, and we actually get to see that full cycle right now, which is dope. Like, I really enjoy that because we've been even talking about it since the first episode. We go back, and it's like, yo, people aren't really saying it, but we could head down, down low, and things need to settle down. And when you go, straight up like that.
That was 9 weeks ago, and you couldn't even see how bad it was going to be today. Like, as far as like where
it got bad, bro.
It was like, what's going on?
It can get worse.
Yeah,
it can get worse.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, that free fall the other night was crazy. I've read someone's feed on the feed. It was like, damn, we're in a free fall, fellas. They're like, hey, we're in a free fall, boys. Hold on.
Disbelief, actually, when I tell you, I was like, dude, this shit is going crazy right now. And he was like, nah, it'll stop right now. It can only go so low.
I was like, nah, that's cool. And then I go on the thing, I'm like, boom. Holy shit, we're in a sell-off. Like, this is another little baby sell-off. Like,
was wild,
and right now we've kind of settled, and you could see people buying stuff. And that little Moon Knight pump and whatever. Like, there's still things that are getting bought up. but you're still seeing that lower lows as it just keeps moving.
Just wait till those comics start settling up a little bit more. When that floor starts rising on those comics, man, it's gonna be a trip because there have been some that are so low. It's like you can get, like you said, you can get 20 of them at $5.98 right now, and then if they just pump to 12, it's like boom. And to the point where it was before $150 for a freaking rare or for an uncommon was like, hey, low mint going 50. That's a good buy right there.
Comics are like sometimes the safest liquid, because even like buying a comic, say if you lose 20 cents, 50 cents, like it's not as bad. There's a cooler upside if you're up $1, $2 from that, just as holding it like as a stable coin. Keep treating it like I'm gonna buy this $5, $6 comic just to keep the gems there, better than just holding the gems or buying a big item that I don't want to sell ever. Like, nah, you need like 20 of them.
What I noticed though too on
20
the
of them,
comics, even
easy
during
sells.
during this like sell off or whatever, even the grails like Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Cheers, Corey. Thank you, man.
Ones,
say like the brand breakdown.
They were
like
the only ones you're seeing going for sale. The ones that are being put there are the mint number 28,000. You're not seeing any low mints at all. Even if you're looking for a 4-digit mint on the grails, the ones that they're putting at that like Amazing Spider-Man #1 for 80. It's not a good mint. It's nowhere near a good mint. It's just those people who have those.
People will undercut themselves and be like, "Wow, yeah. if I have a sub 5%, let me put it for 120, 150 right now." Like that. No, but people get desperate. No, because there's fools out there waiting to buy it. There's people out there waiting to buy it. But no, that'll happen as people liquidate because they're like, "Hey, I'm out," because or I'm seeing a item that you have to contemplate it, kind of like. All right, my vault's at 5Gs.
Like
my vault's at 5Gs.
Like
you've been on the app.
Spider-Man #1.
You've been on the app. Let's just say you've been on the app like 4 months, 5 months. You don't got a Todd. You missed the golden moments, the first ones. You don't got Superman. You missed Spider-Man season 1. You missed all the black and whites. Like that's pretty much how we joined, and like it hurts. And then or it sucks. You're like, damn. And now you've been accumulating. You hit certain stuff. And you're looking at your vault. You're looking at your vault and you're like, man, everything I own is worth, 3.6K, right? And you're like, fuck, that's a Superman. Like, what's more likely? Just to put it in that one Superman, and then when he goes back up to 8K, you could sell, or everything you're holding collectively is going to go to 8K, right? And there's people making that decision right now. They have to contemplate that. Yeah. They're like, man, I wanted that Superman, or I wanted that, Walt. I wanted that this. And they know they can start fresh right effing now with that Walt, with that Superman, and then just start fresh. Like, hey, man, I played the game for 5 months. I walked away with one of the dopest items, and now I'll start brand new when in this market. Go work my job, go put my $50 and go get me a Amazing Spider-Man 1 because it's bleeding, or $80 to get that sucker. So hey, I bought it for $250 the first time. You know what I mean? It's like I had to take this loss right now to sell it, but everything else was so down. I went and bought this other item, and I'm not just saying like I'm not saying to do that. Not financial advice. I'm just saying that there's people who are contemplating that right now.
I thought about it.
And it's I don't blame you.
Don't do it.
Do it. Maybe
don't do it.
Where are you?
I'm not gonna say I sold off most of my comics back in February. For some of it. No, I just bought different stuff, but it wasn't for one thing. But it was just just to get other
that's 83.
Top 5 comics.
Amazing Spider-Man #1, 83 for the floor.
$83. How much you buy yours for, Cisco?
I have 3 now. So my first one I bought was for $280.
I have 3 now. You know which one I'm fucking talking about. Your first one.
The first one was $280, and it was like mint, and it was mint like 28,000. I don't know what. And then the second one was $300. It was $299.
All right, real quick.
The first one was $299.
Real quick to finish it off.
It was
let's all show each other, or let's all just look in and right now on our thing and just look at the worst buy.
Shit.
Let's just all look at what's
my worst buy.
Right now.
Worst based off of where it's at, or worse for what it is and where it's at.
No, for what you bought it at and where it's at.
Where it's at.
Wow.
Oh, I can look at that mini, but I bought it on Celeste's account, so I can't see it. Damn, she's 1%.
Sub 5% on this.
The worst one I bought was Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. I spent $360 on it, and that's just at fucking $70. And the reason I spent $360 on it is because, as we said, if you don't get it now, it's gone. Fool. He's like, it's a good buy. He's like, hurry up. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, he calls me and he's like, have you bought it yet?
The used car salesman strikes again.
He's like, I'm not gonna be the only one.
I'm craving.
Well,
don't tell my wife.
If that makes you feel better, a little better, I bought mine at $200. I bought one at $250 and one at $200.
Well, I got that one and I got one at $70.
And when it was at $360, how much you buy it at?
I think $360. Let me just make sure.
$360. I should have just sold
$360. Like it was a good buy. I was like, I got one. But it's a Spider-Man first appearance, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. And don't get it twisted. The What If on Disney Plus, they have those characters at the park in Spider-Man. Freaking what's it called? Can't Return Home. Wherever the hell the newest one is. He's wearing the cape. He is wearing the cape.
He pumped all the way to almost 400. A bunch of dumb fools bought it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey man,
you bought it.
I love that one. I love that one. No, I bought one at $250. It pumped all the way to $350, almost $400, and I didn't sell. I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome.
High. No, it still went up after that, and then it dropped.
I don't know what like 400 for something.
Either way, that's the most terrible one. Don't tell my wife.
Which I cannot wait for metadata in Veve as well, which is coming soon, like everything else soon.
That's my worst buy. What was yours, Ben?
That's a bad buy. Let's see.
Today it's a bad buy.
It's not as bad as that.
It's not as bad as Wonder Woman.
Want to see Wonder Woman right now? Look at her.
Still not as bad as Wonder Woman.
Ready? I paid $975, and she's currently worth $285. Damn, that just sounds
and when he was doing it, he's like, I'm sorry, so I'm doing it. I'm going for it. I'm like, no, you're not. I'm going for it. He's like, 760. I got 820.
My shit
he
ain't
kept
nowhere
counting
near
me how
like
many
that.
gems he had.
Fucking have money.
Like,
I bought her at a 9, at 1,000, practically 1,000. She pumped to 1,700. So I was like, this is perfect. I thought, smart. I'm so smart. I'm like, I'm not gonna sell her until she hits 10 G's. I'm like, 10 G's, then I'll sell it.
Dude, I didn't even know that I bought Spider-Man 360 anymore. I checked like 3 weeks ago and I was like, oh, hard in my throat. Like, what the hell? I was like writing down all my costs that I spent and everything and keeping like track of it. Saw that.
But I didn't buy her at her all-time high. I bought her right in the middle. So I'm at that point where when we get back to the levels like this, that's when the market and everything else will kind of be healthy.
That's my only Spider-Man.
Where she should be at like
a now. So it's like the mistake you would make is if you got a second one of her, then that's it. Then you'd be on fire because now it's only 600 each, and then boom,
right. You gotta bring down.
That's what I did with Spider-Man. I'm still gonna get another one.
I mean, I'm thinking about getting another one.
Once I get 3 of them, I paid 120 each.
I only got her because I couldn't afford Superman. It's fucked up, but that's just the truth.
Well, she ain't a bad one to have, man. Watch, it'll play out. Tell you that Wonder Woman on.
All right, which one's your worst? Which one's your worst buy?
Not that bad.
I mean, it's not worst buy, but let's just reframe. What's your thing that's bleeding the most?
Craven series.
Here we go. I knew it was gonna be Craven.
But it's not that bad. I paid $111 for a sub 5%. For a sub 5%. Hold on.
Here you go.
The cheapest one that I could get right now. That's a lower mid. No. It's the floor price on that comic. No, the floor price is $690. Sub 5% is the cheapest one you could get. The cheapest sub 5% you could get right now. You can still get. There's a few, but cheapest one you could get is 28 gems. 28 gems. But I paid $111 on drop day on that one. That's not worse. That's not worse. Bro, the floor was 30 gems for like 2 weeks.
It's down like 90%.
It was like 30 gems for like 2 weeks.
For now, okay. Wait till the Craven movie comes out.
It's okay. I could just buy that one for 28, and then I really got it for $50. You know?
I know. I'm just playing. These aren't.
That's
you only realize your loss when you sell. So just hodl. You'll be fine. I still think those Craven comics weren't worth it at all. But hey,
I think they will be.
To each his own. You know what? You can sell it to the next.
Well, they're on Comic and Crypto's top 50.
Top 50. There's only like 60 comics in the app. That's why. When there's 600, they'll be in the 500 club. Trust me. Anyway.
Not as a set.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
Corey Hooper said, wow, I thought I was bad getting lenticulars at 550. Hey, Corey. Hey, they all can't be winners, bro. That's why it's called dollar cost average, just
get another one.
It's no matter what, the market's going to get to a place, at some point where you'll have to make those decisions again. And you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, no, I'll just wait till they're at $100. Like no one was saying that when the lenticulars hit 500. That was the smartest buy. And I remember when I bought Mini, I told you fools, I'm like, there was other things on my list. Minnie Mouse was not on my list. I could have got Marvel Comics #1. I could have got, a season 1 Spider-Man, which I still don't have. I'm like, why did I go for Minnie Mouse? Because I was like trying to make a smart decision with the money. And I'm like, you don't lose with Disney. Disney doesn't lose. Like it's the safest bet on the app, even more than Spider-Man, even more than any of them. I get it.
And
I get it because Disney owns that. They own Spider-Man. They own these fools.
Speaking
like,
of the
daddies,
Grails and all that, my top 20 is complete, even with the addition of Moon Knight or Werewolf by Night, Comics and Crypto adding that. Regardless, bump someone out the top 20, but my top 20 is complete with the exception of Amazing Spider-Man 252. Because, I just wasn't lucky to get on that app.
But Benjamin is the first one.
My Grail checklist is checked. It's
of 3 for him to get the top 20 comics on the app.
For sure.
He got them. So that's great, dude. I'm still missing MC #1. I've liked it. I've bought other things that I look at my collection.
I got 5 Ultimate.
You want to hear bad one? You want to hear bad one? I told you.
On that one, the floor I haven't seen it under 200, but it's right now at 218, 219. It still hasn't went much lower than that.
No, that's
it's only a little bit lower.
It's not a bad buy at all.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would tell you, those sub 5% Craven ones were just crazy. Just crazy to me. Just crazy.
I got a lot also for $20 and $30. Not on that particular comic though. Not that one. Not part 2. That day was a bad day. I just pulled the trigger.
But anyway, when I bought that Minnie Mouse for whatever I bought it for,
$600
like
for the whole
480
set.
or something. After I bought her, she had pumped to like 650. And I remember telling you fools, I was like, hey, look, like the reason I moved that money to her is because she's gonna pump. She's gonna go right along with Mickey Mouse and right along with the Disney items and the golden moments. Like when golden moments break records, they're gonna raise the floor of all the Disney items collectively.
Of course.
That's
why the Mickey Mouse
they all move together.
Because it's in color, and even the ultra rare, he's doing the whole thing. So it's like, dude, that's gonna be a dope one to have, especially when you're
making the first time he was ever shown in color.
People need to mess with their volts, dude.
That's what they seen on TV.
I know people need to mess with their volts because once you're able to display in color, and it matters, and you're able to put up, orchestrating and doing everything, it's gonna be really cool. And right now it's at what 60.
People just don't know. They don't know though. They don't know. They know not what they do.
I buy the Disney and then I put it away.
All right, so then
buy the Disney and I put it away.
What do you think? What do you think? All right, looking into next week, what do you think we have to look forward to right now? What do you expect from the other drops besides Moon Knight? Because
no clue.
I saw episode 1.
I bet it's gonna be some big shit.
I saw episode 1.
I'm still gonna say it's a me, a Mario.
It's gonna be Mario. You think that's
gonna give us Mario at some point?
Mario next week. What?
There's nothing to suggest it won't come because
when's Doctor Strange gonna drop?
I even read
when's
people
Doctor Strange gonna drop?
The movie
tickets are already about to come on sale. It's gonna be at the beginning of next month.
When is it? When is
next month? The movie comes out.
What?
Doctor Strange, the multiverse. Like that shit's. Think about it. They've been dropping these NFTs based off of what they're bringing out, right? Even with the alligator Loki came out after it. They had the what if Captain America, and like they've been doing these zombie ones. And
Disney's the one that lines up.
So with the movie,
we've established
when are we gonna see
Disney drops
Scarlet Witch
along with whatever they're dropping on the Disney Plus app. It seems like, and more connected to the Disney Plus. What they're dropping on there is normally,
and that's what makes sense about the Homer and Bart. Homer and Bart
Spider-Man movie came out.
They have the Simpsons on Disney Plus. The whole Simpsons catalog's on Disney Plus. So that's the reason why
now that they own it, Now that the merger went through completely, that they bought Fox, they have it all.
But real quick, that Moon Knight in the show, like it is Disney's first one where they can get into like showing death and killing and things like that a little bit more. And I think they're gonna play with that in this show because
Frank Miller's comic.
Yeah, so I'm saying that comic is very graphic.
You know about Frank Miller? No.
Even on the first episode where it shows like where he takes over his body and everything, and the dudes are just dead and stuff, and it's like it doesn't show him killing them.
Spoiler alert.
I haven't seen it yet.
He didn't alert me of spoilers.
He just spoiled it.
He just ruined the whole show. He said that the guy got eaten or something.
Oh, the dude from Star Wars? What's his name?
Han Solo.
Isaac, I don't know. He's my cousin, but
I don't know the actor's name, dude. I really don't.
He's on the show or he's the main guy? Isn't it Oscar Isaac is the main guy?
He's the main guy.
He's the main guy. Okay. All right, man. I think that's about it. That's our time. How long have we streamed? I'm not sure.
Words?
Any final thoughts? Oh, well, we're saying what are we looking forward to? I'm saying we gotta have Mario. We need a big drop. We need something that's gonna bring new users and new people to come in and just bring life into this time because we're like in a little bear market and it's not gonna stop until MTL's here. And
where is David Yoon? Like, where's he's out of LA? Or he's out of where's
Who?
like, do you know David Yoon? Like,
where's he from?
Where's he at? Like, where's his where is VV headquarters? Like, where the hell is it stem out?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure it's right here in California.
My point being is that the Frida Kahlo, how they dropped it too. Like right now, they are having her immersive. Right now, all those things, all the immersive art galleries and stuff. They had the Tupac one, they had the Van Gogh one, right? So right now, the Frida one is in LA for this whole freaking season or whatever you want to call it. And the Banksy one is coming out too. Artist or Vandal. That's the Banksy one that's about to start. I think like in a month or two. Tickets are already on sale for it. So what if we get a Banksy to come into it?
I think that's probably more likely just based off the statue we seen.
It'd be pretty amazing if we did. That would be one that would draw in so many new people into it just because of that space of art galleries and having the art. Like it'll be.
I think also too, but there's nothing to say they're going to drop it. But when they do bring out Supreme, that attracts kids, attracts the younger generation,
and more bots.
Yeah.
Supreme bots are real.
That's true. Shit.
I can't find it. It says Auckland City headquarters. Auckland City. Where the hell is Auckland City?
That sounds like it's from a comic book.
Auckland.
It's New Zealand.
Sounds like it's
that's why they always have trouble with the MTL with New Zealand. That's why they're always talking about that.
It is New Zealand.
Auckland.
Yeah, it's in New Zealand.
Oh, it's because
So we need a whole breakdown on that.
I thought that show was in Old Zealand,
but that's gonna be a video because I've been thinking about that as well. Just doing the whole like, if you were new but not like a guide, because I hate these presumptuous YouTubers. Like they just think they know everything. It's like no one really knows, bro. Humble yourself. Trust me. Buy that zombie hunter Spider-Man at $360. A great buy, bro. Trust me, it's gonna fly away. Like my collectibles.
At the time I had sold
Superman. He's just gonna take off.
I forgot what I sold to get some gems up too, and you had put me on that too. As far as like, yeah, man, I got rid of this to get that. And things were all at a good spot. So I was like, I got lucky where I sniped some things.
Never sell anything. This guy never sells anything.
I've made sales.
How many comics you ever sold? How many comics have you ever sold?
There's no need. In my low mints, bro, leave them alone.
Hey, but it's not a bad strategy to have either, though.
Yeah,
for all the losses you want to take, if you
wait.
believe in it, it gets to a certain point, and at that point, just get rid of everything else. Unless you want to go and get that Wonder Woman at 900, just because you gotta have it, and then shit on her as soon as the other Wonder Woman comes out.
Some people when they.
I have 132 comics. 132 comics.
Jesus keeps buying them up. That's great. Look, Wonder Woman thing, right? She went at 900, 1700.
Oh, that's great.
She could have came back down to 900. Some people be like, she's back at what I bought her, sell it. And if you did that this time, it worked out good for you.
Yeah.
But there'll be a time when you do that, and then she takes off the other way.
Yeah, says the asshole who always tells me, sell it, get rid of your Donald now, do it, get rid of this one now.
No, and this time it would have worked out. No, because when I told myself do that with Wonder Woman, I contemplated it. When she was under a G, she sat right at a G. That was a support level. So she went, and right when she hit the G, we're at that point where certain collectibles were now going back to where a lot of people bought them at. And people are like, okay, a bunch of people bought them in a certain range. It just happens. And you hit a certain range and you kick it there. So it's like when we are at 1,000, that's where I bought her at. And I'm like, a lot of fools bought her at. Now you have to stare at the question. Do I put her up on the market, cut my losses, and see if we head down and just buy back in? You have to ask yourself that. This time I was like, I'm not going to touch her because I don't want to have to tell the story because I believe so much in buying her. And I told everyone, hey, I bought this Wonder Woman, $900. Okay, this is dope. I just think it's cool. It's the first Wonder Woman on the blockchain. I couldn't get Superman. Gave him the whole spew. Now I didn't want to have to explain the story of, then I sold her because I bitched out because she went under what I bought her at and I didn't want to hold. But if I had, it would have worked out this time. And it worked out like that for other items. I did that with Black Panther. I did that with Spider-Man, the Mighty Marvel. I sold him for $200. Where's he sitting at right now? $75.
I don't have this problem.
Anyway, there'll be a day where that doesn't happen, and the foods who do sell, or if you do, the people say even right now, they're doing that right now at the bottom. There is a crazy sell off, and that's why I told you, fools, and I text you, fools, be cautious when the normal person is like, oh yeah, now's the time to sell. I just buy it and it's lower. I'll sell it now because how about sell Wonder Woman at 350 because she's going to 100. We're crashing. She's going back to listing. Like, no, she's like now you're tripping. Yeah. If you were gonna do that, you should have did it in February. You should have did it when we were looking at it right there. When you had it's like a stop loss. Like, hey, I'm up so much. If I get it 50% of this is gone, I'm gonna sell. And some people don't do that. And now they're telling themselves right now. A lot of people are like, oh no, this is the best time to sell. This is the best time to sell. Get rid of it. It's like, no, because right when everyone thinks that is when things reverse.
So that's on them. That's their loss. Right
there. And plus, just to chime this in too, there is a overall NFT market rebound right now. A lot of things were down, and it's been on a nice little rebound with the bigger NFT markets. So Veve just hasn't gotten its turn yet, but it's in prime position.
I don't expect this shit to stay low. I don't expect it to stay low at all. It's gonna pump.
All right, y'all.
Especially even when new people come
knocking on an hour and 45.
Are we?
Pump.
Yep.
It'll pump.
Start at 8:30.
Everything will pump. Buy them. Get those low mints. Don't worry about it. If you spent 111 on the Craven series, it'll come back to you one day.
It'll come back. These are the days make champions. Thank you guys once again. Shouts out to everyone in the chat.
Shout out.
Next week, Wednesday.
Shout out Corey.
All you Valley, you little Valley boys right here peeping in. Shout out my Valley boys crew.
Peace. We will see you guys next week.
Boyle Heights.
We love you.
Viva Mezcal will have the brand breakdown.